Hey guys, and welcome to the Parrot Bros. Today we're going to be doing a video on air filters. I've seen a lot of talk on the forums, on the Facebook, on the pages, all this sort of good stuff about the good, the bad and the ugly, and I thought I'd just put it all into one video for you to understand, and we'll go through everything from stock replacement filters for the box to foam filters to cotton huge filters and everything in between. So stick with it, let's jump into the intro. Okay, so you've bought yourself a TT and you wanted some more noise from it, you want a bit more performance from it, great. So you've got a stock airbox. Now the stock airbox, you'll have to excuse me because I've got it in three parts here, but it looks like this. Okay, that's where your air comes from the inner wing. There's an air feed through the wing that comes out into the engine bay, which is a hard plastic pipe that goes into this here, and then the air comes out. Obviously I've got the box the wrong way around, but the air goes out of there into your mass airflow meter, which is an 80mm hole size if you've got a 225. If you have a 180, it's 70mm. Okay, so that is what you would have stock. Now the reason a lot of people want to do stuff to these, there's a few options available. You can do what's known as excuse me, a whack box, which is basically where you slot out sections of the underside. We used to call it the colander effect because you just drill loads of holes in it and it looks like a colander when you're finished, and that's on the underside because obviously on the top side is where the air is coming from and the filter's in the middle, so you don't want to drill anything in the top side because then the filter won't filter the air, which is the point of it. So yeah, you cut a load of holes in the bottom. That will give you a little bit more airflow because obviously you're not just restricted to this inlet pipe here, and then it will go through your filter. Now the normal stock one is a paper element, and obviously this is a little bit dirty, but it is a K&N replacement filter which allows more airflow. So as you can see there, it's a K&N one, it's cotton not paper. So it allows more flow from a stock airbox. Now this is a great little option if you're looking to do something on a budget. Performance wise, if you cut the bottom out, yeah, it'll give you a little bit more, but it's all about the size of the filter itself. So the bigger the filter, the more air it is going to get in. So that is as simple as that. So if you're looking for sort of a cheap mod, the box filter, if you buy a K&N one, pipe across one, there's I've done a list, pipe across, ram air, foam. There's 5 or 6 different options available, ranging from 30 to sort of £50. So not super expensive, and it keeps the stock look a little bit stealthy. Or if you just like it sort of original looking, then that is definitely the first route to go down. Now if you're, I'll put a detail actually in the description of the whack box, how we cut it out, what he recommends is the best way to do it and whatnot. Seeing as the information's there, you may as well put it to good use. It's a great site. So you've finished that, you've decided you don't want the airbox, you want to get rid of it, you want some tasty filters. Now I up late night messaging Cloud9 Customs and put a nice order in for a selection so I could show you guys and I can pick which one I want. Now the most common one is the ram air setup. Now this is a shield which will direct some of the air, like the boxwood, from that little sort of cubby that comes out of the wing with the airflow, and then you've got your filter, nice ram air branding on it, which goes inside there like that, meets up with your MAF, and that all goes in as quite nice and tasty. I'll put a picture up, a few pictures up actually in front of you now, of cars that have got these fitted. This retails, I believe, for about £80, somewhere in the region of that, and it's quite a nice little sort of fit up and all in one. But to be honest, if you're looking for performance, this filter isn't actually that much bigger cross-sectional than the stock box, so do bear that in mind. You will get some more sound. You'll also get the sort of whoosh noise and the dump noise, or the recirc noise, when you change gear, because obviously with an open cone it's a lot louder, so it'll push that back through this filter. So it will add a little bit more induction noise, and it'll also add a little bit more diverter valve noise when it puts the pressure back into the system. So this is quite a nice little tidy option. It does sort of bring you into the performance world. Now, the other thing to mention, I've got a video, I'll put it up in this corner now, is for turbo intake pipes. Now, so with a stock box, if you fit a turbo intake pipe, you'll have to trim it down because the stock box fits a lot further over, so it's not really recommended to use a big tip on a stock box because it's just not really that practical. If you're looking to keep the standard turbo intake pipe, then I would recommend this little system, because if you've got an aftermarket one, you can fit one. I'm not saying you can't. You can fit a turbo intake pipe with one of these, but again, some trimming is required. And if you're looking to get sort of mass airflow and loads of air into the car, because obviously more air means more power, you want a bigger filter, because the more air you're going to get in, the bigger cross-sectional area on the filter, the more power you're going to get down. So if you've got a big oversized tip from say Badger 5 or something like that, then you want to get something even bigger. Now this shield, it will deflect some of the hot air, but it is metal, so it will get warm. And also the air that's going through your turbo, the turbo could be running at 200 degrees. So yeah, you're getting say 5 degrees lower than ambient temperature through this, maybe 2 to 3 degrees. But by the time it's gone through your 200 degree turbo, then it's going to go through, if you've got a front mount intercooler, through a front mount intercooler, which will cool it down then into the inlet. So the temperature of the air is less relevant than the amount of air. So more air, even be it warmer, is better for performance. So do bear that in mind when we talk about these options. Now, I'm excited about these. There's a couple of options available. The other thing I will discuss with you is a velocity stack, but we'll go through that in a minute. So, foam and cotton. Now these are, I should have kept the smaller one for perspective. So this is the one that comes in the Ram Air kit. This is the Pro Ram, and as you can see, that one actually fits inside the other one. That's how small it is compared. You can see the size difference is quite a bit. So this is the Pro Ram, which is a cotton filter. Lovely looking design. It's got the nice little Pro Ram written there, so it looks quite smart if you have that at the top. And this is to be coupled with a velocity stack, which again I'll go through in a minute. And this is the foam option. Now this thing is, I think it's the XL. This thing is ridiculous. I mean, look, there you go. It's bigger than my head. So again, great airflow. The only thing with the foam filters is the foam tends to let a little bit more through than the cotton would. The cotton, admittedly, cotton, obviously if it's not more restrictive, but if it doesn't let the dust particles through, then it won't let as much air through, but it's negligible. The foam will let a little bit more of the dust and stuff through than the cotton one, but it's kind of horses for courses. I mean, unless you're going to be driving through a gravel track at 150 mile an hour, I wouldn't really worry too much, but see what your track driving's like. But yeah, but these are the price of, well, I think the foam one's a bit cheaper than the Pro Ram, but obviously it does take you over the price of that set that I showed you earlier with just the filter and the shield. And the other thing is the shield won't fit these because they're a lot bigger. Ram Air don't actually sell a shield. Now shields, you have a couple of options. Obviously everything shown to you today I've ordered from Cloud9 Customs, just to make it easy, just so that you can order it. I'll also put some links to other websites where you can get it, but Cloud9 stock everything. And they've also got this shield which they've made themselves. It's got this nice little 9 in it for Cloud9. And this is actually slightly bigger, slightly better shaped, and a slightly better angle to meet with the turbo intake pipe. We will be doing a separate video, so keep an eye out for that. We'll be fitting all of it into the car, so you can get an idea of what it looks like, how to fit it, and all that great stuff. But these actually fit the bigger stuff, so you can get your big air filter in there if you want the shield, just to kind of neaten out the engine bay and all that great stuff. Like I said, fitted design straight in. You don't have to modify anything. You literally just take your stock airbox out, and then using the fittings from your stock airbox, you will mount this back down to the same place. Now, some trimming is required with all shields, just because without the shield, the air filter with the turbo intake pipe does sit quite far towards the wing. Now, trimming it is not hard. I'll show you in that fitting video. Very straightforward, not hard to do at all, and obviously worth doing because you don't want it pushed back on itself, because then it'll be crimping and you'll be losing some of the airflow. You can also buy a shield from David Clark. He does a stainless steel shield fitted similar to the Cloud9 stuff, but it's made out of stainless. It looks stainless, it's polished. I'll send some pictures in this video now just to give you a quick look. That is another option available. Again, all this information will be down in the description of where you can order it, all the links and all that great stuff. So they are the options. Now, Velocity Stack. Now this is a great little bit of kit, become quite popular recently. And what it does is, I don't know how well you can see that on the video. So it's like a rounded shoulder that goes into the where the mass airflow will be. And all it does is all the air is coming in, it's rushing in all different angles, because obviously your filter's got front, back, sides, bottom, whatever. It's all there. So all this air is crushing in, and it's just kind of getting into your car at a funny angle. And all you want it to do is go in nice and smoothly, because obviously the smoother it goes in, the more airflow you'll get. So that's known as turbulent air, when it's all coming in all different sides. So you want to get it nice and smooth in, and this will just create it to just a nice flow in, which even if this adds 1 horsepower, or if it makes a tiny bit more air get in there, it's worthwhile. Plus, you need it to fit this big boy. So that just literally pushes into there. I've got the Jubilee clip done up a bit so it won't just push in, but you get the idea. Goes into there, and there you go. 80mm port ready for your little silicon joiner into the mass airflow. So that is filters, guys. Now there's loads of different options you can. I've seen things like where people have taken their battery out and they've put like a 45° off their turbo intake pipe, and then they've got a filter that's this big. Cloud9 Customs can pretty much order any filter any size you want, so if they sell it this big, whatever you can fit in your engine bay, bigger is better. But the one thing I will say is, if you're not looking to do a map, if you just want to keep a stock car and you'd like a little bit of noise, probably the box replacement filter is a good option, and also the little ram air shield and filter, that's not a bad option either. If you're looking to map your car or fit a turbo intake pipe, you may want to think about going a little bit bigger, because you're almost limiting the amount of airflow you're going to get. Now I had the box on with the filter in. You do get, I did cut the bottom out of my other one. This is another one I've got, and it does give you a little bit of noise. It gives you a little bit of performance, but like I said, when I got it mapped, the guy said to me, look, this is kind of your limiting factor, so I would look at getting something bigger, hence the reason I've been late night shopping. So we'll see which one I fancy best once it's fitted. But yeah, guys, that is air filters. Hope you've enjoyed it. Just want to say in the comments, there is any filters you want. I just ordered these because these are the most popular. They've got quite a nice fit. They look nice. They don't cost the earth. There is loads of other options. I've got some written down here that you can buy. Obviously, you've got the other ones that I've looked at have the shield as well, because you want to sort of buy a kit. It looks nicer. And all that great stuff. Is the Neuspeed one, but that is nearly double the price of the program one. So you've got the details. I mean, the 80 mils. The other thing I will mention is, if you've got, have a look on your airbox. Mine doesn't have it, so I can't show you, but if you look, there's another little corrugated pipe that mounts into the bottom of your airbox underneath where the mass airflow goes. That is for a secondary air pump. So, or the SAI, whatever people want to call it. And you do get, with the ram air stuff, these little filters that go onto it. So don't be too worried about that. You can order them separately. It's not a problem. But guys, yeah, that is air filters. I tell you what do you like best? Down in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. That's another video from the Parrot Bros. Bye for now.